Well, only maybe 30 to 40 minutes ago, I was in a dream, and usually you can get some great ideas from dreams. I usually kind of go into movie mode when I go into a dream. And one such character came out that I think is a really good character for The Rock. In my dream, I was thinking about Fast and the Furious, and I didn't really have a title for the movie, but I was looking for the title of it, trying to write it down, and then I saw the character emerge of The Rock, and the character was called the Genius. You know how most people dub you the GOAT, the greatest of all time? Well, the character was called the Genius, and it was The Rock. And you saw what was a montage, kind of like an edited version of events in my dream, where you see Rachel Bilson go to the Grammys and the Academy Awards and awards, and you see like maybe 78 plaques of nominations, and they just come to him, like he's and basically this is what he would do. He would do that quietly, and think, and it was just as The Rock could do it. It's hard to really put in the being there in the dream, seeing him. He kind of would stay quiet for a second. There would be a problem, or someone would say, "We need to do this," or "How do we do this?" And he would sit there and he would have his technology, his little, his little tablet, his little glass tablet that had like a kind of Brainiac software that he invented, and he would sit there and he would just basically put into action what needed to be done. So at one point, I think it was I guess he's dead now. I don't know if he's dead. I'm not gonna say, but there was a singer or whatever that was a hip hop star. It wasn't DMX or anything, but it was someone who was, I think it was like a Spanish whitish Boricua kind of guy, and he's like trying to give a he's at the Grammys trying to give a speech, and the mic goes off, and he gives his whole speech, and you don't hear it, and then he just kind of sits there and goes, and everybody in the event is like, it's like this big controversy in the moment, and he goes, wait a second, and he goes and he downloads the audio from the with his device. He downloads the audio and he plays it, and they go, genius, he just downloaded the audio from the system and said, here it is, and played it, instead of just, but it just happened so instantaneously. He just thought of it so quickly and did it and put it up on the screens. He has control over a lot of technology. And anyway, so the Genius, there was a moment where one of our characters, it was a woman that was either had previously dated him. He just comes to her and he goes, "Oh, you need an updating of your old software because there was a problem with a theme park or something." And he updates the software, and you realize she's like, "Oh, I didn't need to update anything. I just needed to get you here." And then a whole bunch of like Fast and Furious kind of Hobbs and Shaw guys show up, kind of the guys to fight him, and he just kind of goes like this, like the Genius, and he takes out a bat, and the bat, because it was a dream, the bat was just, but he's able to fight everyone in the room in a non kind of lethal way. He was throwing the bat around, and then he got on a motorcycle, and he could control like a touch screen on the motorcycles where you sit, and it was just so cool. Like, it was just so cool. Just The Rock is the character of the Genius. And I remember at one point I go, how are we able to, like, what's one way you could see the seat and we were riding and they were chasing us? Like, I didn't be able to see the seat because there was kids around. And he goes, I don't know. And he was waiting, and then I go, by looking down, and then he laughed and he goes, thank you. And he was such a, it was just the way in the dream that The Rock was this kind of Jesus, like immediately thinking of something. He wasn't like Tony Stark. He didn't have an ego. The best I can explain it is, it was like Charlie Murphy character in Bowfinger without being a geek, without kind of with The Rock being who The Rock is, and just the silence, a kindness, a poise, a posture, a sense of being the Genius. And I think that character could come into Hobbs and Shaw. It could come into Spy Hunter. And I say this because it was a dream that gave me the idea to do it, because I was seeing it happen in a vision, much like Nicole Kidman's Lucy in, because I had that happen to me too, where I kind of see what people are talking about. I have a vision of what it could be. I could see it in my mind like a movie. So that was cool. The Genius. It'd be cool to see The Rock play this character. And as you know, Uh, I was watching a Dhar Mann video about it's a TikTok user is a nerd and he gets used for videos. I really don't know, but the TikTok video was a lot like what happened between me and Risky Rob TV, where you had this friend who was coming up with getting all the credit, not getting credit for the ideas of the TikToks, and he was awkward and he was never on camera. And then you had the personality, and he goes over to some other guys and he doesn't have ideas and things like that. And I know that basically what get me a little angry about being this character, the genius, is I know I'm not supposed to say anything. I'm supposed to just meet the rock. But I know sometimes that's trash, I think, right here. But I know a lot. I'm living in Florida, and as it stands now, you got to pay things forward. Don't Look Up is gonna. I got really angry at Don't Look Up because I was like, I don't like it when people. I don't like it when people take credit for something. They see you and then they're like, "Oh, well, thanks for this, but I don't care. I'm gonna go off and get all the success and enjoy myself." It's like you can. All they had to do was put my name on a story by, or even if I didn't get the story by, at least give me an agent or work with someone. They didn't. They don't care. Like the names of these people on Don't Look Up did not care. It would be as if there was a scene in Don't Look Up where the girl was looking at Leonardo DiCaprio moving off to a room where he had privilege, and she was the one who discovered the comet, and she's trying to help. Anyway, they didn't explore it, but the genius Don't Look Up was one of mine, and you can tell because I'm coming up with this now, so I can give you the specific genesis of how this came up. I would love. It was just such a, for someone who's pretty much stuck at home during COVID and has been for all basically since 2004 anyway. I think it was really cool to see how The Rock played it in my dream, him being the genius, as they dubbed him, just seeing the montage of all the great things he's done for the world, known as the genius. Not in a way like the same way they call someone the comedian in Watchmen, he was known as the genius. And it would be cool for Hobbs and Shaw. I don't know if The Rock could play himself again. It would be cool for some kind of series, but it was an action movie with him being the genius, and it was cool because there was a sense of he laughs and he knows everything, but sometimes when he doesn't know something, he knows something is a joke. Or it was cool. So the genius, please play at The Rock, and also do the Red Notice with me because I think the Yours to Keep, Yours to whatever franchise would be great to see Pierce Brosnan in the Red Notice, Yours to Notice, with the characters I want. That's it. And as you see, people look at creativity and they steal it, but help someone out. Just a little help. Just a little help, guys, as I help you. And I'm going to be doing more with the mic and looking a little better. And also, my final thing to say, I'm working on Batman Superman. I just sent that. So let's see how that works.